Hello everybody, I'm Mike. Thanks for joining me here on Alaska Spirit Traveler. Today we're going to talk a little bit about kayak maintenance and repair of the outrigger system. So you always want to look at your outrigger setup before you hit the water. Make sure everything's functioning good. Both of these kayaks, the Eddy Lifetime kayaks, is what we're talking about today. And you can watch my videos on how to do outriggers on them. Couple of interesting developments. These pontoons have been on here for several years, and I've just learned a couple of different things that I would probably do differently during the manufacturing process. But I'll show you what we got going here today. So a very important part of the system is this crossbar. It's a must for the outrigger system, the ones that you've seen on my channel. What this bar does is it acts as a spring loading device between the two outriggers. So as the outriggers pry up on this bar acts as a suspension between the two and helps control. So when you sit in the water, those pontoons will actually pick up and give you support. It's wonderful. But what happens when it breaks? So we need to be aware of your pontoon system and look at them before you hit the water. You don't want to be out on the water when it breaks. So we're going to fix this today. Basically what I have is I have a 3/4 inch screw-in bit that goes into here. The reason that I went 3/4 is because it gives me this gap here where I can put the pin in it without coming out here on the edge. So it's got a screw-in bit, and then your crossbar slides in to the 3/4. And you can see here how it broke. We caught that before it went on the water. As compared to the other side, you can kind of see what it looks like. Optimum condition is when you build your outrigger, you want this screw-in bit to slide all the way down to this coupler. Gives you your support that you need. If there's a gap, in there, like there is here, that's a lot of pressure and torque that's got to take, and it'll end up breaking on you. Like I said, I've used mine for several years. On my other kayak that's in here, I was inspecting it, and right down here, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see how it's cracked. So I'm going to fix this one too. Now, when I built these, I was just going trial by fire and everything seems to work good, but if I had to build this all over again, Today I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the repair. And I would do this to the next kayak that I'm going to modify with outriggers. With this steel, copper shank I'm going to put in here for support. And that's how we're going to fix that one that's outside there. So what I did, and like I say, any other kayak I build from here on out that's got this screw-in system here on the pontoon outriggers, I went and got this piece of 1/2 inch OD by 2 feet soft copper. And then what I did is I got a 7/16 dowel, and I'm going to slide that dowel into the soft copper length, and I measured it. It's about 4 inches, I believe. Actually, it is 4 3/4, but it's actually going to be 5 inches, because when I cut this, I'm going to have the dowel sticking out of the end on both sides. That way it's the dowel that's making contact with the PVC fittings, not the copper. So you can see how the dowel is going to fit in there just perfect. And that's going to be my connecting mechanism now. I'm going to cut it about right here, and then this one is going to slide down over that, and I'll have to pry it on there. I'm going to use JB Weld, and basically that is good for including marine, so I know it's gonna, and it's good for metal and plastic and everything else. So I'm going to try this today. So I'm going to go cut this, and I'm going to use alcohol and degrease everything, and then we'll mix up some JB Weld and get her all together. So I'll be right back. Okay, I went and cut it about 5 inches. You can see how the dowel sticks out of both sides a little bit. So if it makes any contact with the PVC, it's the dowel, not the copper. That way any pressure like this is taken by the dowel, and there's no transfer of pressure from the copper to the PVC or electrical conduit. Now we're gonna slide that in there just like that. You can kind of see how it's going to fit up in there. So now we're going to do a test fit. We're going to take this modified dowel, we're going to stick it into there. Then basically what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make this fit down onto there and slide down. So, but we're going to do the bottom first. Going to JB weld that in the bottom. Then I'm going to have to take this and bend it to get it to slide down like I want it to on there. So basically I'm going to use this spring-loaded device and I'm going to bend it to make it fit. So I'm going to degrease this dowel again, and then we're going to JB weld it into the bottom. So I'm going to mix up my JB weld one part to one part and go from there. Now the JB weld says you mix equal parts, sets in 4 to 6 hours, cures in 15 to 24, allow 4 to 6 hours before handling, and 15 hours before putting back into use. Sounds doable. And I'm just going to mix these equal parts. One's black and one's white. Mix them both until they're gray, consistent all the way through. Looks pretty good, pretty gray. And I've already degreased everything. And I want to get good even coat on the top of that fitting. Would it make sure there's good down in the hole as well. Keep your mess cleaned up. Now I'm going to coat it up inside of here. Now I want to take the rest of that, put it on my dowel repair. That way when I slide it together, there's going to be a good amount that's going to bond that fitting back. Before I do that, I want to take and clean my mixing tool off so it's clean. Now I'm going to take this and bend that Then what I want to do is to keep it down there, take a little piece of nylon line, I want to slide it down. And I'm going to take the nylon line and cinch that any slack out of there. Now we can see I got it pretty well tight again. That's good. I got plenty of JB weld in there. I'm just going to kind of clean that up a little bit. I'm going to take a little piece of paper towel and that's looking really good. I like that. When it's dry, I'll come back and just fine tune it a little bit. But it's good and solid. Again, that's good. That's what we like. You can kind of see in here how that dowel sticks down in there. What I'd like to do is I'd like to I just reached up there and I just slid that dowel a little bit up so it's not resting on this unit. There's a little bit of a gap between the dowel and this, so there's no pressure on that fitting. And we'll just let her dry. Come back and look at it when we're done. Should be good to go. But it's important to remember, every time you take your kayak out, if you've modified your kayak to have outriggers, you always want to make sure you check everything before you take it out. And remember, this isn't a handle. Don't lift your kayak with this. Grab it here where you're supposed to grab it. This is a spring-loaded device that locks your pontoons in together. I'm gonna fix my kayak. This is one of my kayak buddies' kayaks. So, thanks for joining me here on Alaska Spirit Traveler. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any comments, feel free to leave comments. Kayaking with outriggers is something that you'll cherish, especially with these V-hulls. These V-hulls, to sit in V-hull, you'll spend your time trying to keep from capsizing. But putting the outriggers on them is a wonderful thing. So once again, thanks for joining me here on Alaska Spirit Traveler. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Have a good day.